Everyone tells you procrastination is your biggest flaw. What if it's secretly your greatest strength? I used to think I had a serious problem. I'd put off important work until the last minute, beat myself up about it, then somehow pull it together right before the deadline. This cycle repeated for years until I discovered something that changed everything. My procrastination wasn't a character flaw, it was a misunderstood superpower. Today, I'm going to show you how to reframe procrastination from your worst enemy into your secret weapon. I'll reveal why some of history's greatest minds were procrastinators, what science actually says about delaying tasks, and how to harness this trait for breakthrough creativity and productivity. Chapter 1: What procrastination really is and isn't. Let's get something straight right away. Procrastination isn't laziness. Laziness is not wanting to do anything. Procrastination is putting off specific tasks, often while being incredibly busy with other things. Science confirms this distinction. A 2013 study from the University of San Diego found that procrastination isn't about time management. It's about emotion management. We delay tasks that make us feel uncomfortable, bored, or anxious. Think about it. You're not procrastinating on watching Netflix or scrolling Instagram. You're procrastinating on the report that feels overwhelming or the conversation that makes you nervous. This is crucial to understand. Procrastination is your brain trying to protect you from negative emotions. It's a coping mechanism, not a character defect. I discovered this firsthand when writing my first book. I'd put off writing sessions for days, feeling terrible about myself. But then I realized I wasn't avoiding the writing. I was avoiding the fear of writing something bad. Once I separated the emotion from the task, everything changed. Even famous creators like Leonardo da Vinci, who took 16 years to complete the Mona Lisa, and Frank Lloyd Wright, who designed Falling Water in just 2 hours after procrastinating for 9 months, used this tendency to their advantage. Quick recap. Procrastination isn't laziness or poor time management. It's an emotional response to discomfort. Understanding this distinction is the first step to transforming it from a weakness into a strength. Coming up next, I'll show you the hidden benefits of procrastination that nobody talks about, including how it might actually be making your work better. Chapter 2: The hidden strengths of procrastination. What if I told you that procrastination, when properly understood, could actually improve your work? It sounds counterintuitive, but research backs this up. Strength number 1: it forces ruthless prioritization. When you have limited time, you automatically focus on what truly matters. A study from the University of San Diego found that active procrastinators, those who deliberately delay tasks, often outperform non-procrastinators because they excel at prioritizing. Think about your own experience. When a deadline is breathing down your neck, you don't waste time on perfectionism or unnecessary details. You zero in on the essential elements. I once had to deliver a presentation with just 30 minutes of preparation instead of my planned 3 hours. The result? My most focused, impactful talk ever, because I was forced to cut everything that wasn't absolutely crucial. Strength number 2: it creates creative tension. Researcher Adam Grant found that moderate procrastination can boost creativity. When you start a task and then step away, your subconscious continues working on it, a phenomenon psychologists call incubation. This is why you get your best ideas in the shower or while driving. Your mind has been processing in the background. Martin Luther King Jr. famously procrastinated on his "I Have a Dream" speech, working on it the night before and even improvising the most iconic parts during delivery. That last-minute pressure created something extraordinary. Strength number 3: it reveals what really matters to you. Pay attention to what you procrastinate on. It's telling you something important. If you consistently delay working on a particular project despite the consequences, that's valuable data. Maybe it doesn't align with your true interests. Maybe it's not the right approach. Maybe there's a better way. I noticed I kept putting off client work for a particular company, despite the good pay. When I finally listened to this resistance, I realized the work conflicted with my values. My procrastination was trying to tell me something my conscious mind hadn't accepted yet. Strength number 4, it can lead to better decisions. Research from the University of San Diego found that people who delay decisions often make better choices because they gather more information. This productive procrastination allows you to collect more data points and perspectives before committing. While everyone else rushes in, you're gaining valuable insights that lead to superior outcomes. Quick recap. Procrastination, when used strategically, can force better prioritization, enhance creativity through incubation, signal misalignment with your values, and lead to more informed decisions. Next, I'll show you exactly how to transform destructive procrastination into a strategic advantage with specific techniques you can start using today. Chapter 3, How to Transform Procrastination into a Superpower. Not all procrastination is created equal. The key is distinguishing between destructive delay and strategic delay, then leveraging the latter. Here are 5 practical techniques to make procrastination work for you. Technique number 1, structured procrastination. Stanford philosopher John Perry won an Ig Nobel Prize for his structured procrastination concept. The strategy is brilliant. Use your tendency to avoid one important task by doing other important tasks instead. Here's how to apply it. Create a to-do list with your most intimidating task at the top. Place several other valuable tasks below it. As you avoid the top task, you'll naturally gravitate to the other important items. I use this technique constantly. While avoiding writing a difficult email, I'll clean my entire office, organize my files, and plan my week. All valuable tasks that might otherwise not get done. Technique number 2, strategic incubation periods. Instead of fighting your tendency to delay, build it into your process as strategic incubation. For complex creative tasks, start early by doing just 10 minutes of work. Deliberately walk away for a day or two. Return to the task with fresh insights. This approach takes advantage of your brain's background processing power. Studies from the University of California found that subjects who were given incubation periods came up with 28% more creative solutions than those who worked continuously. I used this for my TEDx talk. I drafted the outline 2 weeks before the deadline, then intentionally set it aside for 5 days. When I returned to it, I had multiple new insights that elevated the entire presentation. Technique number 3, harness the Zeigarnik effect. Psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik discovered that unfinished tasks stay in our minds until they're completed. This is why TV cliffhangers are so effective, and why you can use this same principle to overcome procrastination. The strategy is simple. Start a task for just 2 to 5 minutes. Deliberately leave it unfinished. Your brain will keep thinking about it, making it easier to return later. I use this when writing. I'll write a single paragraph, then walk away. My brain becomes pleasantly preoccupied with the unfinished thought, generating ideas until I sit down to continue. Technique number 4, the procrastination dash. This technique embraces your tendency to work better under pressure by creating artificial urgency. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Work with complete focus until it rings. Take a 5-minute break. Repeat. This creates the last-minute rush feeling that many procrastinators thrive on, without the actual deadline stress. Research from DePaul University found that this approach helps chronic procrastinators get started earlier while still benefiting from the focus that time constraints provide. Technique number 5, emotional reframing. Remember, procrastination is about avoiding negative emotions, not the task itself. By addressing the emotion directly, you can often dissolve the resistance. When you notice yourself procrastinating, ask, what feeling am I avoiding? Name the specific emotion: boredom, fear of failure, uncertainty. Address that emotion directly instead of fighting the procrastination. When I catch myself delaying important work, I'll write down what I'm feeling. Often just naming the emotion, I'm afraid this won't be good enough, reduces its power and makes starting easier. Quick recap. Transform procrastination by using structured procrastination to accomplish alternative tasks, building incubation periods into your process, using the Zeigarnik effect to keep your brain engaged, creating artificial urgency with time constraints, and addressing the emotional roots of your resistance. Coming up next, I'll explain how to identify when procrastination is helping you versus when it's truly holding you back. Chapter 4: The critical difference between good and bad procrastination. Not all procrastination is beneficial. The key is learning to distinguish between productive delay and destructive avoidance. Signs of productive procrastination. You eventually complete the task, often with better results. You use the delay time to work on other valuable projects. Your subconscious continues processing the delayed task. You feel thoughtful rather than anxious about the delay. The delay actually improves the final outcome. Signs of destructive procrastination. Tasks never get completed, even with consequences. Delay time is spent on low-value activities. Endless scrolling. You experience increasing anxiety and shame. The delay negatively impacts the final result. You consistently miss opportunities due to delay. The difference often comes down to awareness and intention. Are you consciously using delay as a strategy, or are you mindlessly avoiding discomfort? Research from Carleton University found that procrastination becomes harmful when it's chronic and unconscious. The key factor is your level of self-awareness about why you're delaying. I've experienced both types. When writing my book, sometimes I'd procrastinate by researching related topics, which ultimately enriched my work. Other times, I'd procrastinate by binge-watching shows, which did nothing but increase my stress and guilt. The solution isn't to eliminate procrastination entirely, but to transform unconscious avoidance into strategic delay. The transformation process. Number 1. Awareness. When you notice yourself procrastinating, pause and acknowledge it. Number 2. Intention. Decide if this delay could serve a productive purpose. Number 3. Direction. Channel the delay energy into either alternative valuable tasks, structured procrastination, strategic incubation for creative breakthroughs, preparation, gathering more information. This conscious approach turns procrastination from an unconscious reaction into a deliberate strategy. Quick recap. Learn to distinguish between productive delay, which improves outcomes, and destructive avoidance, which creates anxiety and poor results. By bringing awareness and intention to your procrastination, you can transform it from a liability into an asset. Next, I'll share how to build a personalized procrastination system that works with your natural tendencies instead of against them. Chapter 5. Building your personalized procrastination system. The most effective approach to procrastination isn't fighting it. It's designing a personalized system that works with your natural tendencies. Step 1. Identify your procrastination pattern. We all procrastinate differently. Understanding your specific pattern is crucial. Avoiders. Delay tasks due to fear of failure or judgment. Optimists. Underestimate time required and overestimate future motivation. Perfectionists. Delay starting because results might not meet impossibly high standards. Thrill seekers. Enjoy the rush of last-minute pressure. I discovered I'm primarily a perfectionist procrastinator. Once I recognized this pattern, I could implement targeted strategies rather than generic productivity advice. Take a moment to identify which pattern fits you. This self-awareness is the foundation of your personalized system. Step 2. Design your environment around your pattern. Once you know your pattern, you can set up your environment to work with it. For avoiders, break tasks into tiny steps to reduce intimidation. Create accountability through public commitments. Use the 5-minute rule to overcome initial resistance. For optimists, schedule using triple time estimates. Set artificial early deadlines. Use time tracking to improve future estimates. For perfectionists, schedule specific rough draft time where quality is irrelevant. Set clear good enough criteria before starting. Use structured procrastination to channel the perfectionist energy. For thrill seekers, Create artificial time pressure through timed work sprints. Break larger deadlines into series of mini deadlines. Partner with someone to create social accountability. My system as a perfectionist includes dedicated, crappy first draft sessions where I'm not allowed to edit or judge what I'm producing. This accommodates my tendency to procrastinate due to unrealistic standards. Step 3. Implement strategic buffer zones. Instead of setting up a system that requires perfect execution, which almost guarantees failure for procrastinators, build in strategic buffer zones. Schedule only 70% of your available time. Set personal deadlines 2 to 3 days before actual deadlines. Create procrastination time blocks where delay is actually encouraged. I now deliberately leave gaps in my schedule for the inevitable procrastination that will occur. Instead of fighting this tendency, I account for it, and surprisingly, I often need less buffer time than I anticipate. Step 4. Track and refine your system. The final step is creating a feedback loop that helps you continuously improve. Keep a simple procrastination journal, noting what you delayed and why. Review weekly to identify patterns. Adjust your system based on real data, not idealized plans. After 3 months of tracking, I discovered I almost never procrastinate on writing in the morning, but frequently delay it in the afternoon. This insight allowed me to schedule writing tasks accordingly and dramatically improve my follow-through. Quick recap. Build a personalized procrastination system by identifying your specific delay pattern, designing your environment to work with it, implementing strategic buffer zones, and continuously refining your approach based on real-world results. Chapter 6. Embracing your procrastination advantage. We've been taught that success belongs to the early birds, the planners, the diligent workers who never put anything off. But history tells a different story. Frank Lloyd Wright designed his masterpiece, Falling Water, in just 2 hours after procrastinating for 9 months because his client called to say he was on his way to see the plans. Victor Hugo would procrastinate on writing by socializing and removing all his clothes, which he'd instruct his servant to hide so he couldn't leave his desk. Bill Clinton was famous for working on speeches until the very last minute, often making his most brilliant changes moments before stepping on stage. These aren't exceptions. They're evidence that procrastination, when properly channeled, can be a competitive advantage. The truth is, not all brains work the same way. Some people genuinely perform better with the energy, focus, and creative pressure that procrastination creates. Fighting against this natural tendency doesn't improve results. It creates unnecessary suffering and mediocre outcomes. I spent years trying to become the kind of person who works steadily and finishes ahead of schedule. The result? Bland, uninspired work delivered on time. Now I embrace my tendency to delay, but I do it strategically, and my work is better for it. The goal isn't to stop procrastinating. It's to procrastinate purposefully, to delay strategically, to use the unique energy and perspective that last-minute pressure creates while minimizing the stress and risk. When you embrace procrastination as a potential strength rather than fighting it as a weakness, you unlock a different way of working that might actually be your personal competitive advantage. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You might just be wired differently than the productivity gurus suggest. And that difference might be your greatest creative asset. Next time you find yourself procrastinating, instead of immediately fighting it, ask, how can I use this delay to my advantage? What might this procrastination be telling me? How can I channel this energy productively? The answer might lead to your best work yet. Most people fight procrastination and lose. But you'll understand it, use it, and make it work for you. Start seeing it as a signal, not a character flaw. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Whether you binged this video immediately or brilliantly procrastinated on it until exactly the right moment. If you found value in reframing procrastination as a potential strength, hit that like button and share with another procrastinator in your life who needs to stop beating themselves up. Your strategic delay in sharing might just be the perfect timing they need. Don't put off subscribing to our channel until later, unless that's your strategic procrastination plan. Hit that subscribe button now or intentionally delay it while your subconscious mulls over all the productivity hacks we just covered. Either way, your procrastinating brain will thank you for the next video.